All right, so this video is going to be my 800-hour update of using comprehensible input to learn Thai, but this video will kind of give you a general idea if you're studying a language that's kind of similar in difficulty as the Thai language. Excuse me if I sound cold. I'm actually in South Florida around the Miami area, and we are having an Arctic blast here. It is freezing cold down here in South Florida, and I put in perspective, I've lived in this house here for 3 years and I never ever use the heater, but this year I turn on the heater and it doesn't work. It'll turn on and then it just turns off. Apparently, we bought this house 3 years ago. Side note, don't want this, but whatever. We bought this house and had an old AC unit. We replaced the AC unit, but apparently the wiring in this old house, we live in East Boca Raton, Florida, and it's a very nice area, but the houses are kind of old sometimes. And this house right here is built, I think, in the 60s. So the wiring isn't thick enough to actually power the heater, but it can power the AC unit. And normally it never really gets below like 60 degrees, so we never ever run the heater. But we're having this Arctic blast, and we have these iguana warnings where iguanas are falling from the trees because they're not used to the cold either. They just go to sleep and they fall out of the trees on your car, on your head. They're in the road. I'm wearing a coat that I haven't worn in like 5-7 years. But anyways, I'm in the garage right now. We don't have a heater in here, and it is really cold. My mother-in-law is actually in the house right now. I don't want to disturb her right now, but yeah, I just wanted to give an update of my Thai learning journey here. It's been quite unique. I think many people who are using comprehensible input, or if you're considering using comprehensible input to learn any language, there's not that many feedback of people who are actually using the method throughout. You just kind of see people who are like starting and then they're fluent. So hopefully these digital video journaling of my experience using it can help somebody like you if you're starting out and want to know like kind of what each stage, what it kind of feels like, what I personally feel like. These could be beneficial to somebody. Some person somewhere may find these beneficial. That's why I like to make these videos, just for educational, just so you're aware, and also document my own journey. And again, my hands are freezing cold. It's like 33 degrees and everybody's worried about the mango trees and palm trees. But yeah, so how do I feel right now after 800 hours of input? And this input's been I wouldn't say it's been linear. It started off a little bit, then went rapidly up when my updates were coming quicker and quicker. Every 100 hours I like to do an update now, and I would say that it's really died off. I kind of like fell into 800 plus hours now. And where do I feel personally where I'm at now? And the best way to describe it, if I was going to describe my level right now, is actually like a child. So I would say, because I hang around a lot of families who are, the wife is usually Thai, the husband's usually American, and I would say how I feel is kind of like where the wife doesn't really speak that much English and speaks only to their child in Thai, and the kids kind of raised in a bilingual environment. That's the best way I can describe it, where I don't feel native, obviously. I don't feel like a native kid. My daughter is 4. She turns 5. Like, by the time we watch this, she's already 5. I feel like her English is so much better than my Thai, right? So her English is amazing at 4, going on 5. But when I hang out with kids at birthday parties, or the families hanging out together, I would say I feel like a 7-year-old who's raised in a bilingual environment in, say, United States. So what I mean by this is that I know most basic words and vocabularies for like everyday usage. Like, so say if I need to do something, I have the vocabulary for most action verbs. Those are down packed. Most nouns, things that you touch every single day, amazing. Like, if you didn't know, my mother-in-law is here right now from Thailand, and I'm able to finally practice speaking. I wasn't gonna really start speaking until like 1,000 hours, but she's here, so why not, right? And so I just feel like my level right now is of a bilingual kid raised in America who gets a lot of input and interaction with Thai, but it's not quite like a native, like in the country, 100% of the accuracy, say, if like my 4-year-old is with her English. Her English is, she surprised me with the words, but I definitely understand a lot more listening than I can actually speak in Thai right now. And this is something that's kind of surprised me, because when you're following along, say, a movie or a show or series, you kind of have this visual image in front of you where you can always like follow along in context. But if you're just around a group of Thai people and they're just switching topics back and forth, there's a lot more times that you could get lost in the conversation. Say if they switch things and all of a sudden somebody brings up another time when something else happened that's completely unrelated. I'm figuring this out a lot more now, where I can definitely see where things can get lost easier in natural conversation than it would be a movie where you have a visual context. Okay, we're here in this setting. Okay, we're at a coffee shop. Okay, so you kind of understand what's the context. And then all of a sudden the movie cuts into like you're at a zoo, and you kind of know like, okay, now we're going to be talking about animals. But if you don't have that visual cue, it can be kind of sudden, you know? And that's what I kind of discovered now when like my wife and mother-in-law are going back to all these random times in their life and just talking about stuff. I'm like, okay, we're here, right? We're at a coffee shop. And out of nowhere, they start talking about like, oh, remember the time you saw this giraffe? I'm like, where did this giraffe, did I hear the right word? You know, like it's just something that's relatively new, because it's my first time engaging really in conversation with Thai at the 800-hour mark right now. And I can definitely see in my speaking ability. So if there's ever a time, I've noticed now, like I've really thought about this a lot, where if I'm watching something and I understand it in context, like I see something, I see the visual, I see everything, I understand it in context. When I go to speak, that is when I'm most insecure. So if there's ever a doubt where it's like, you know, like when you're reading a sentence, you could know like every word besides that one word. So you kind of put it together. When you're speaking and you don't know that one word, you're really stuck. Like for production of the word, you kind of have a rhythm. Like imagine if you knew a song, you kind of knew the rhythm already, but you didn't know the exact word. I definitely realize that in Thai now. If there's any listening comprehension that's weak, those words are the weakest when I actually speak them for actual production. So that's just something to keep in mind of. If you're already listening to something and you're wondering like, am I really going to be able to speak this naturally at a good level where I have complete command of this word or this type of sentence? If there's a time where you feel kind of shaky, you feel like, okay, I understand the sentence, but I don't know the individual words, or like I don't have the full gasp, like the actual meaning of everything behind the sentence. This is where you're going to be lacking the most when you go to produce the language yourself independently. Just something to be completely aware of. I really thought like, okay, I just got the rhythm down, but this is where my production starts falling when I'm trying to produce things in that nature. But generally, again, I have my mother-in-law. She doesn't speak any English, so I'm over here just speaking Thai with her. Everyday tasks like going shopping, talk about what I'm doing in the house, what my daughter is doing at school, what are we going to do today or what are we going to do tomorrow. Basic communication has proven to be very successful at this level of 800 plus hours, and that's really good. I would say that, again, that's why I say like my level is similar to a child who can communicate with their parents very well and effectively. I will say though that where things fall apart is when you go deeper than what a child would normally talk about. So like I can say the word for coat, right? Like cold, I'm cold, it's so cold outside, I'm going to go grab my coat. But in Thai, I wouldn't be able to just say like, this is like my pea coat. This is not like a specific coat. And I can say like different kinds of coats. I can talk about a general thing of a coat, but I can't go deeper as right now in 800 hours of using or listening to Thai. It's something to be aware of. I feel very confident staying at the very basic levels. I'm running with my daughter. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to go make food. I'm going to work. I help friends buy homes. I'm going to sell medication. I'm going to the pharmacy. Those type things are very, very good. But the deeper levels, like I could say like I sell medication, right? But I couldn't say that I sell medication to help fight addiction. Like I wouldn't be able to say this in Thai. So that's why I say like the vocabulary usage is very, I would say like elementary school level for kids, but give or take, that could be a level that you're completely happy at. I plan on retiring in Thailand. I know I said it in previous videos. I do plan on retiring in Thailand, probably the next 30 years. So I have a lot of time in front of me, but it's definitely not a level where I'm completely satisfied as of right now. And I plan on keep trying to go deeper and deeper and finding ways to really engage with the language that doesn't make it boring, keeps it fun, engaging, and very practical in nature. If you're looking for just simple practicality, I feel like you can get a lot with 800 hours of being able to go to say to Thailand and talk about everyday tasks with no problems. But if you want to go a little bit deeper than the superficial level, I think we have to go deeper and deeper than just 800 hours of comprehensible input. And again, I think I said this in the previous video, the first thing that I realized I was struggling with, again, it's very cold. We're having this Arctic blast from up north. It's affecting the entire South Florida area right now. And it hasn't been this cold in over 50 years. And I was trying to explain in Thai an Arctic blast. And it's like, I don't even know if they understand the words in Thai for Arctic, They don't really have Arctic blast in Thailand. And I don't know the word in Thai for it. And I don't even know the word for blast in Thai. And historic, I can talk about history, but I don't know the Thai word for it historically. I can talk about what's common. It was the first time that I ran into any problem with my Thai production. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later when we go into my wins and losses. All right, so talking about wins, my first win that I really see as a win at this level. So I've been communicating with my mother-in-law and my wife and being engaged with conversations, but I actually had a video call online, the very popular Thai app to communicate with people in Thailand. On the app, I was able to talk to my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law for an hour and a half using only Thai. The topics we talked about, like basically like my everyday life, what do we do here, what is my daughter doing at school, what do I do for work, how is work, how are my customers, about some money, money things, like, how to make money here in America, what could they do if they wanted to work in America as well, like some business ideas. financial things, talked about houses. We talked about, again, very basic levels of like what I'm going to do. Like I told him about how I changed my roof. So I knew the word for roof, to be able to change my roof to a new roof. Talk about windows, doors, air conditioner, painting, those simple things in Thai for home improvement. Shown to be no issues. They're able to talk to me about their new house they just built. They're expecting a child. What did they buy for a child? Again, in those natures, in a very superficial level, we're able to sustain a full conversation. I think that's very meaningful. And if you're searching for a meaningful way to engage with Thai, I still think Comprehensible Input provides that for you. I know I've had a lot of people reach out to me. I had 1 or 2 videos that I posted my Line account, and they messaged me, and I had some people say, they're very grateful for finding this YouTube channel. That's why I keep doing it, is because some people really do find it very encouraging or helpful. There's one person from, they're German, they're living in Thailand, and they've been studying for Thai for 4 years. And they messaged me that they've been studying Thai. They speak Thai, but they can't understand when people talk. And they started using, Comprehensible Input. That's really helped them very quickly to be able to understand Thai people. I'm very fortunate I found Comprehensible Input a little bit earlier on in my Thai learning as well. And yeah, I just find it very helpful, and it shows that you don't have to have 2,000-3,000 hours of Comprehensible Input to get meaning or something useful from Thai. You could literally get it with 1,000 hours. And I really think this is really possible to get something meaningful out of it. And for me, that's a win for me, is that I'm able to enjoy Thai YouTubers. I'm able to enjoy Thai drama series where I can follow along. Are there times where I don't know what they're saying? 100%. Are there times where I get lost? Yes. But I can definitely follow along, enjoy most things in the series, enjoy content that's made for native Thai people. And I was not able to do this before. And I'm a firm believer that if I use a textbook only approach, where I just use a textbook, I wouldn't have gotten to the level of comprehension that I have now. And why I say this is that, especially talking to my mother-in-law, they don't use complete sentences. They have a very untextbook way of speaking. And there's the regional, variances throughout Thailand. If I didn't have hours of exposure of northern people talking, Isan people talking, and southern Thai people talking, I don't think I would be at the level of comprehension that I am right now. And that's one of the huge benefits of the Comprehensible Input method, is that you get a lot of exposure if you choose your YouTube videos wisely. And I think that's going to be my next video. I think I could do things better if I knew in the beginning how to organize them a little bit better. But I think just really choosing your videos wisely on things that keep you engaged, but also relatively similar, definitely helps out tremendously, versus doing a whole bunch of random stuff, just spreading out the vocabulary too thin. I think the more concentrated it is and more engaging, whatever it takes to stay engaged, watch that content, because I think that's what's going to pay off the most to most Comprehensible Input learners. If you're not engaged with the speaker, if you're not looking at them and paying very good attention, and you're just dozing off, or you're just not focused on the content, this is where you're going to start tripping up, and you're just wasting your life. You're wasting your hours of a day. And I think choosing the right videos are going to be very important. That's why I have a video plan about how to do that a little bit more successfully for learners as well. So I do have a loss as well. So I was working in the master bathroom, right? I was trying to explain to my mother-in-law in Thai, without her being in the bathroom, what I was doing. So I'll tell you in English what I was doing. So it's very cold right now. I've never been this cold here in South Florida. It's causing a lot of condensation, like water from the ceiling just dripping down, and the windows, just water everywhere. And we had a lot of like mildew just built up out of nowhere. Over the course of like 2 days, it's like the ceiling will start to turn black spots of mildew. And I was like, wow, I need to clean this and prevent this. The owner of the house before me, they obviously used really cheap paint that allowed like mold or mildew to grow rapidly. The paint was like just falling off the ceiling. It was crazy. So I had to go in there. I sprayed it with like a mold and mildew killer. So I sprayed it, cleaned it, and then I sanded the paint that was bubbling and falling off. And then I had to primer it with like a primer to kill bacteria, mold, mildew. And then I had to repaint the ceiling and the walls, right? And then I redid the silicone caulking in the bathtub shower. And my mother-in-law was like, oh, what are you doing? And I told her when I walked out, I had paint all over me. I was like, I don't know the word for mold. I don't know the word for condensation. There's so many things I just didn't know, like silicone. Never heard that in Thai. And caulking, never heard that. So I tried my best to explain to her about little black color things on the ceiling and cleaning. I didn't know the word for scraping. So scraping and sanding, I didn't know the words for those. So I tried the best that I could to say, like, I was washing the black things off the ceiling and painting. But, and then caulking, I didn't know how to describe that. So I told her I was putting some white stuff down around the shower, right? My wife came back home and she said my mother-in-law actually told her that Michael was working in the bathroom, the shower is broken, but I don't understand what he was doing. So this kind of shows that there could be two things. One, she didn't understand the silicone or the disinfectant in general, or my ability to describe the actual nature of what I was doing in Thai was so poor she couldn't put it together. So those are only two options, and I think it's a lot of it was my inability to describe certain things in Thai. I think if it was very simple, like I cleaned the bathroom, that would have been fine, but I was in there for hours and hours because it takes a process to have everything dry and take out stuff and clean things thoroughly. So that's what I was doing. I definitely failed at communication at that point. So where am I going for the next 100 hours? Well, I'm going to be tracking my hours very slowly. You will get a 900 hour update video. It's going to be a while. I'm not rushing through videos right now. There's been several videos I started, I haven't finished. I'm not pressuring myself to finish these videos. I'm primarily focused on talking in Thai only with my mother-in-law and try and integrate that as much as possible with my daughter as well. We're really going to try and hit Thai speaking at home a lot, and that's going to be our primary focus for the next month or so. Again, for talking hours, listening to other people speak Thai, I'm not tracking those. My Netflix hours, I'm not tracking those. It's just too much work. I'm going to track my hours only on my YouTube playlist, where I'll put it in the description as well so you know exactly what I'm watching. But it's going to be a very, I think, slow 100 hours this time. Again, because I'm not getting a full hour a day sometimes tracking them via YouTube, but I'm getting hours of speaking every day for the most part with my mother-in-law. So give or take, this next update for 900 hours is going to be very skewed towards talking and not so much of the hours of listening, just so you're aware. For disclaimer, would I do anything differently in the past 100 hours? So from 700 to 800 hours, would I have done anything differently? And the answer is yes. As I mentioned kind of in the beginning of the video, I would definitely focus a lot more in detail with a few things. So usually I did like a full day or maybe half a week or so on a topic, but I wish I would have watched home videos, right? Home tour videos. I did that a lot. And then I did the very basic, like let's walk through a home, right? But get me here, give me one moment. Imagine if I did the home tour videos, right? And then I found somebody in Thai fixing something in the home. Like, I would have benefited so much where if I just dug deeper and deeper in home content, where it's like, okay, this is a general overview of a home. So I did that for like a week, got everything down pat. I feel very confident in general things in a home right now. But imagine that next week where you're like, oh, we're gonna fix the plumbing. Oh, we're gonna fix the electrical. We're gonna fix this. Like, just really dive deep in detail. If I did that for an entire month, like, okay, this month is home, this month is, say, clothing, or this month is this, like an entire month to get all the unique vocabulary, because that's where I find out where I struggle the most is what are the words for these things that I barely use. Like, I barely use specific words, right? So you need to force them in. If I'm just doing a general overview for a day or so, and I'm switching like to travel, or I'm switching, that's where I'm most comfortable, like travel, shopping, describing basic things around you, most comfortable. If I just keep switching to like something else, like, okay, we're going to Florida, we're going to Japan, we're going to Italy, and just keep switching that to get words, I'm sticking at a level where I'm very confident right now. I need to go deeper. Like, I need to go like, okay, immigration offices, or just something deeper and deeper and deeper until you get the words that are so unique, where you come off as more educated than, say, a 7-year-old, the level I think I'm right now. So if I was going to do anything differently, that's what I would personally do. I would go deeper and deeper into content to get a higher level of vocabulary words to be able to speak the words that I want to articulate, because I'm really struggling right now. There's certain words, like I mentioned before, I just don't know the words to be able to say to make things clear. And I think if I had that level, it would be so much more impressive than just the basic overview of the bird's eye view of Thai right now. I need to go deeper. And if I did an entire month, just some idioms where I can find like people like maybe streaming that are just constantly using slang, where I can just knock these down pat and saying, just instead of just knowing some bad words and some of the most common slang, I think it'd be much cooler to understand something that's a little bit more unique and exciting. If you get what I'm saying, you get what I'm saying. But thank you for making it this far in the video. I really appreciate it. If you made this far, make sure you give the video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video right here. Take care.